welcome aboard on this tour of the inner harbor of Copenhagen. My name is Matteo. I'm your guide today. The name of our captain is Mark. Ja, sen undrar skulle vi guida på ett sällskap med Holm. Abbiamo italiani sulla barca, italiani, dove siete? All right to do. So here we are now. Denmark, Copenhagen, Nyhavn. This place famous for many different reasons. Amongst these, the famous Danish writer, Mr. Hans Christian Andersen. He has lived in 3 different houses here. 2 of them are coming up on your right-hand side. That is the yellow house number 18 and the red one, number 20. And it's also very important that you remember to stay seated while we sail under the bridges. That's the one you have here in front of you. But I'll let you know to do so before that happens. That happens now, so please stay seated. Keep your eyes on the bridge. It's very low. Thank you. The third house of Hans Christian Andersen is here to your left-hand side. That's the white house with the black roof. And there is also a cafe downstairs, and I believe the people behind this cafe here were very creative when they came up with the name for it. They called it Hans Christian Andersen's Cafe. On your left-hand side now, you have the Royal Playhouse of Copenhagen. And it was built in 2007, opened in 2008. Designed by the architects called Tranberg and Lundberg. To your right-hand side, in front of you, you have the remains of the old paper island, the big street food court. And this will eventually be turned into apartments and also an outdoor swimming area. But the new street food court, we reckon we're going to see that later on the tour. On your left-hand side here, the Opera House of Copenhagen, 2005, designed by Henning Larsen. And the Opera House here consists of 14 stories, but you can only see 9 of them, and that is because the remaining 5 here, they are underneath sea level. And now we'll sail behind the area of Copenhagen called Holmen. It's a very peaceful area full of many houseboats, and in practice that means that I will not be able to, that I can't speak in this microphone for approximately 5 minutes. You're welcome. please stay seated. Into apartments. And in case you're in the buyer's market at the moment, they go for about 1.2 million euros for 3 bedrooms, 90 square meters. All the houses you have all the way down the shore to the left side, these are the old cannon boat sheds, and they were active from 1805 up until 1837 as a way of rebuilding the Danish Navy. They've been overtaken by the British and stolen. But they also borrowed huge costs of gold. They can be used for different purposes. Some of them are offices, the other ones are used for canoe storage. To your right hand side you have the free town of Christiania. That's what you see here along the shore. And Christiania was founded by the hippie movement in the beginning of the 1970s. What we've been sailing around for the past couple of minutes on your left hand side, well, that's Holmen, that's the name of it, artificial islands. For more than 200 years this was the old military base of the Danish Navy, but not anymore. Today instead you'll find artistic schools here such as Rhythmic Music Conservatory, the acting school, film school, the School of Arts, and also the School of Architecture. To your left now you have the upper house from the opposite side. There are two main stages there. 1700 seats. That's a lot of seats. Look to the right hand side, written on it 352, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is Peter's Square. And let's just say that Peter's Square became famous to the public back in 1982 because it by accident fired off a missile. And this missile right here went on to destroy 4 summer houses in the Northern House. And to your right hand side now there is a strangely shaped grey building with a chimney on top, and that is the world's most modern incinerator called the Hill of Amager. And Amager is also the name of the island where the Copenhagen Airport Kastrup is located. It is supposed to burn off 64 tons of waste per hour, designed by Bjarke Ingels, and it is also, believe it or not, an artificial ski slope. Yes, ski slope. Now behind Peter's Square now you might see a flag, a red and white flag blowing in the wind, and that is of course the Danish flag, which is the oldest flag of any nation in the world. It dates back to 1219. And so this is actually the year of the 800th anniversary. As a matter of fact, the Queen, Margaret II, she has recently come home from Estonia after going there with the royal ship of Denmark, Dannebrog, to celebrate the 800th year of the flag falling down from the sky, as the legend says. So now in front of you, you have the Fortress Battery Sixtus. In front of Battery Sixtus, there is a hill with some cannons on top. These cannons here, they fire off a salutation each day at sunrise and also at sunset. But as some of you probably know well, or have experienced already, sunrise in Denmark this time of year is a phenomenon that can occur quite early in the morning. So it has now been decided, in accordance with the neighbors, that from now on sunrise will take place at 8 o'clock during the week and at 10 o'clock on the weekends. Easy. And the white statues to your right hand side in just a second, they symbolize people in exile. And they were part of the exhibition back in 1996 when Copenhagen was the cultural capital of the world. And it was a gift from Bosnian refugees who came to Denmark during the 1970s. And the huge grey building to your right hand side that says Refs Halli Owen on it, that was where the Eurovision Song Contest was held in 2014 when Denmark hosted for the last time. The new street food court of Copenhagen called Reffen is what you have to your right hand side, located nearby a white storage building that says New on it. And if you want to go there, you can either take our hop on, hop off boat, or the yellow sea bus, which is the one you have on your left hand side there, or maybe just good old fashioned public transportation. That's bus 19 towards Refs Halli Owen. Tour. Coming up on your right hand side in just a second, the Little Mermaid, and you'll get her from the best side possible, the back side. Yes, back side. The Little Mermaid was a gift from the Carlsberg Foundation to the city of Copenhagen back in 1913, and she's been decapitated. Her head has been chopped off 2 times during her lifetime, so that one there is her 3rd head. And she was built by a sculptor called Edward Eriksson, and the model he used for the head part, well, that was a ballerina from the Royal Academy. She didn't want to pose for the rest of the body, so he went home crying, I imagine, and asked his wife, begged her, please, won't you be the model for the rest of the body? And the wife said yes, so you might say that the Little Mermaid is a mix between a ballerina and a wife. Margaret II. And behind Amalienborg you have the Marble Church, and it's the biggest church in all of Northern Europe with a dome-shaped tower. And in case you have some other days to spend here in Copenhagen, each day at 12 o'clock noon the change of the guards happen at the square in front of Amalienborg here. Nobody is home right now, and that's because the flags are not raised on top of the roofs, so that means they are at home. please stay seated. Thank you. Your seats, thank you. In front of you here you have the Black Diamond. That's an extension of the Royal Danish Library from 1999. The red building you have into your right hand side here, that is the King's Brewery, and it was active about 400 years ago. And back in those days the king, he paid his soldiers 10 liters of beer a day to fight for him, which might also explain why we lost as many wars as we did back then. But anyways, now we are about to enter the canal of Frederiksholm. Hello there, man. And another bridge, please stay seated, thank you. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, you've just been upgraded. This is the Elvis Presley tour. But I need you to sing along, because if not, he's gonna stop the boat under the bridge, and I've been stuck here for 78 hours before. It's not fun. Not fun at all. As the snow flies on a cold and gray Chicago morning, a poor little baby child was born in the ghetto. And his mama cried, cause there's one thing that she don't need, it's another hungry mouth to feed in the ghetto. Perfect. Yes. Let's see what happens now. Some people are interested in sports, other people are more into arts and stuff. If any of you have a passion for banks, well, to your left hand side here you have the National Bank of Denmark. Yeah, designed by Arne Jacobsen. And please stay seated, thank you. Placed to your right hand side with all the surveillance cameras, that's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The beige colored building with the orange roof, that's the warehouse of the Eichville, and it was built in 1750. And have a look at the front side here with the big green gates and the nice looking windows too. Back in the year when it was built in 1750, the King of Denmark was King Christian #6, and he lived at Christiansborg, we saw earlier. But well, Denmark didn't have a lot of money back then, so he only wanted to pay for the things that he could see, and that is the front part of the building here. When you in a minute get a chance to see the back part of the building, please notice what it looks like, because it almost looks like a prison. Small, tiny windows. And if you want yet another beautiful photo to your collection, in a second to your right hand side there will be a very nice view to a small canal with